Hi, this is Dr. Karen Perez. So I know that a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, I had informed you guys that I was in a NP program and the struggles of the NP program. And as I journeyed through that program, I was chronicling my experience. And my last video, told you guys that I graduated and I was super happy and I was preparing now to take the certification. So I'm happy to announce that approximately 2 weeks after graduating, I took the NP certification and I was successful. So now I am a certified nurse practitioner and I am super excited. So I wanted to share my story in how I prepared. And even though I'm talking about the nurse practitioner program or certification, this can also apply for any kind of certification or any kind of licensure, in particular the NCLEX too. So as I mentioned, I said I will use approximately 2 to 3 sources, and I did. So to prepare for the exit, I did a weekend boot camp from morning to night studying. Me and one of my colleagues slash classmate, we studied up to 3 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep, wake up again and study in the morning, back to in about 9 o'clock we started studying, way back to the night again, sleep, get up. So we created our own boot camp to study for the HESI. So the reason why I approached the essay so drastically is because I don't want to study for the HESI separate to study for the NP exam. I wanted to make sure that I studied once and I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. And what that was is to study the HESI, and even for RN students, they'll take either Kaplan, some take HESI, some take ATI as an exit. And what the exit does is to show you where you are if you are ready to take either the licensure exam or the certification exam. So for the NP course, it was the same thing. They wanted to see where we were. And as I mentioned in my last video, that I scored, the pass rate was 750 and I scored 837. So that gave me a gauge of where I was. And so when I saw that score, I knew that I was ready to take the certification. I didn't want to wait 1 month, 2 months to study any longer. One, I don't have the time. And two, I already put the time in when I studied for the HESI. So my advice to you, if you're in a program that requires to take an exit exam, don't study one way for the exit and then study another way for either the certification or the licensure exam. Study once and put that work and time in, because it will save you a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of save you from distress and anxiety. So when you're preparing for any exit exam, study for it like you're studying for the boards, right? Study for it like you're studying for the boards. So that's what I did. I studied like I was studying for the boards because I know that this will indicate if I am ready or not. So I use 3 sources to study for my HESI and my certification. I use Fitzgerald, I use Barkley, and I also use Mirror League. So I use those 3. I use Barkley as my content. So I study the content from Barkley, and then when I wanted to test myself to see how well I know the content, then I take exam questions from Mirror League and from Fitzgerald. So if you're studying for the NCLEX, remember, a lot of times I said people are going to give you a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to study from. You're going to feel so overwhelmed. Get 2 or 3 sources, no more than 3 sources, because you're going to feel overwhelmed. Make sure that you have a systematic way in how you're studying. So for the NP, a lot may ask, what certification did you take and how is it that you took the board so fast after graduating? Did you get your transcript as yet? So there are 2 organizations that you can take the NP exam with. One is the ANCC and one is the AANP. So with the ANP, it was much quicker because I could send in my unofficial transcript to them and I would be able to sit the boards. or the certification. So what they do is that they were able to tell me if I pass right there and then, but I will not be able to get the certificate of proof until they get my official transcript. So I, a lot of people take both certification. There's no need to. So as I mentioned earlier on that, I have so much things to do so much things to do, and I don't have time to study for 3, 4 months. So I wanted to get it done and out of the way. My exit exam already showed me that I was prepared and I was ready, so there was no reason to hesitate. So was I nervous? Hell yes, because I didn't want to take this certification more than once. I wanted to take it once and knock it out the ballpark. So every year, what I do, I have a goal. So I have a certain goal that I want to accomplish for 2021, and completing the NP program and sitting for the certification were two of those goals. So I wanted to make sure that I get it out the way and get it completed and do it as soon as I can, as long as I think I was ready. So here's what happened to me the night before taking the exam. So as I mentioned, I did 3 sources, but I wanted another test bank that I've never seen, I've never used to test myself. So I purchased a test bank from Barclay, and it's called, I think, Diagnostic Readiness test. And when I took that test, I flunked it. Believe you me, my scores were so poor, I started to question myself that, are you ready? Are you really ready? This is a diagnostic readiness test and your scores were low. And I said, and that was a night before sitting for the certification. And I said, Karen, you've studied, you have done the HESI, which was more detailed, which break down the areas that you need to work on. You work on that area. It is past 24 hours. You cannot cancel the exam. Go for it. And so I did, and I was successful. I want to say thank you guys for all your support throughout this journey. And you can do it. Study. And when you're studying, don't study once for the SE and then another time for the certification or the NCLEX. Study once. And what I mean study once is that when you're studying for the exit exam, whichever is ATI, Kaplan, HESI, whichever program it is, study like you're going for the boards, because this will indicate if you're ready, yes or no. And so if you take the exit and it shows that you're ready, don't waste time. Don't sit around for 3 months waiting to take the NCLEX or the certification. And if it shows that you're not ready, look at the printout in what areas that you need to brush up on, and brush up on those areas so that you can be equipped and ready to sit for your licensure or your certification. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for other educational videos. Thank you.